What's good, YouTube? Katana here. Joined with.
Alright, I'm not doing that stupid shit. My name's Reckless Numa. What's up?
Anyways,
I'll tell you, bro.
so the video. So today's video is basically a tier list. The way it's gonna work is that we separated it kind of into sections. So we got the open world, kind of a grade, and then the 1v1. So, and then there's the overall. So kind of putting the two grades together to get that overall. So we're gonna start from worst, and then we're gonna end it with the best. So the first class we got on the list that is the worst, ranked to the lowest, is Sork. And let's see, open world, we put it at B plus, and 1v1s it's at a C. Yeah, it's pretty dookie. It's been, they've always been pretty. Yeah, they've been pretty decent open world for quite a long time. I would say probably almost since forever. But I don't know. People probably argue the fact with me in certain situations. Yeah. But it's been pretty low open world as well.
What's the overall? Did you say it?
Yeah, the overall is a B minus. B minus. Open world it's a B plus, and 1v1 it's a C. Now 1v1 it's a C because even if you put AIDS on it, we took all that into consideration. If someone put AIDS on it, it still wouldn't be great. You know what I mean? Like most of the time it's gonna get countered. Like they'll probably, if you have AIDS on it, you'll get a few dubs here and there, but nothing too crazy, right? Go ahead, the next one.
Oh snap! Yo, I wasn't prepared. I'm kidding. Magcrow got, what does it get? Open world. Magcrow got a B for open world, and a B plus for 1v1s, and then a B overall. So Magcrow is the second worst class in the game. At least that's what we agreed upon with some other people as well. Open world wise, I mean, it's so low, bro. Like, if you're not running Harmony, the fact that you kind of need Harmony to even really X or do really well with it. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not people out there X without it, right? But like,
true.
Still, it's just not great. Really, it's only B because it's really good at group play. That's really the reason why it's there. Not even its 1vx capability like other classes. 1v1 wise, B plus. I mean, I don't know if it's B plus.
The main reason why it's B plus is because the main reason why it's B plus is that, first of all, there isn't a lot of Magcrows, but the ones that have dueled with Magcrows, they're using Dispatch's current like meta / AIDS, and yeah, on top of what they're using, and Malakath's ban, with some proc sets here and there plus blast bones, I mean, goes really far. So that's why I would be B plus.
Yeah.
Is it counterable? 100%. But is it completely trash where it's like,
no, it still has a lot of damage. I mean, it had a lot of damage last patch too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last patch was hitting hard too. It's just, you just didn't know to use it properly.
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to play.
That's why it's at B pretty much. I mean, that's one of the main reasons it's down there.
It's fun to play.
We're not doing anything C right now, if you notice, for the ranks, and that's just because a lot of things are pretty balanced at the moment.
Yeah, nothing's below C.
Good PvP, bad server performance, but
true.
You know. What's the next one?
The next one is Stamplar. Stamplar for.
Is it really? It's that low? Oh my god.
Stamplar open world
this is third worst.
Is B plus, and 1v1 it's A minus. So it's B plus in open world because in the way the patch is, this patch, how healing got reduced, Stamplar, well, Templar in general took a big hit, but I would feel like Stamplar in general more than anything else really took a big hit because, I mean, that's what the Templar class is. It's a lot of good heals and survivability and such. So, once they took away a lot of their heals and tankiness that they got from other places last patch, it kind of brought it down. And on top of that, their burst capability, it's great. And they can sustain well, but it, again, in the wrong hands, it's not gonna you
Stooky.
know, do well. Like,
It's like the Magblade.
a new player can't just pick up a Stamplar and be like absolutely standing a chance against like better players, if that makes any sense.
Unlike some of these other classes.
Yeah.
But again, just because it's bad, I mean not bad. just
But
because
just
it's
'cause
down
it's
there doesn't mean it's bad.
yeah.
I mean it's B plus. I mean again,
Yeah.
just a lot of the things are balanced.
And
Might not
it's
agree with the
ranked.
placement, but I
Yeah.
mean for the
And it's
next ones that are
ranked
gonna
A
come,
minus in 1-on-1. So
yeah.
we're not ranking.
So we're clearly not saying it's a bad class by any
Yeah,
means.
we're
It's
not
just a
trying
little
to
bit more
say that
difficult to play.
oh, in a 1v1
We got a little
scenario
bit
it's
more
trash or
nerves.
anything like that. We're just saying in a open world perspective against multiple players, whether it's small group or 1vx or whatever like that, it's not always the
I'd rather have the ones above
greatest.
this than this class in my group.
Yeah,
Not
in
gonna
most
cap.
times, yeah.
Only thing that's good about this class is jabs for open world, because POL doesn't really matter because it's single target. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's pretty much that.
All right.
The next one's freaking Magblade. It's a personal favorite class of mine right here. I'm kind of happy it's above Stamplar. Of course, right when I swap to Stamplar, it's above it, but it's cool. It's a C plus open world, which I think we could all agree that this makes a lot of sense. We didn't really want this list to even contain anything less than a C, so it's pretty much one of the worst rankings on here. So C plus, one of the worst open world, but it is S tier for 1v1s, which if you've been seeing or playing against any Magblades this patch, I don't think you could even say anything about it, not gonna lie. Freaking, what's it called? Their heals, I've played one this patch, literally in PvE
Very
armor,
tanky.
and the heals feel like the same it was last patch. Barely feel touched. Heals go stupid. The
You
burst
can
is
mostly
stupid.
use damage sets
Yeah.
on it. It's like the
If
only
you put a
class where you can
hand in
use almost all
Malakath like a
damage
lot
sets.
of people, yeah, 100%. Because you could literally think about it. You got Dark Cloak, and then you have your what's it called? Your Mercy list. When it's up, it's about 18% damage reduction. That's an insane amount. Meaning you could just stack straight into DPS. And a lot of people are putting the hand on it, which is another will basically, and it's literally
Yeah,
it goes
it's hard.
dummy. It's one of the best things to use right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not seeing a lot of good Mac plates
Yeah.
right now though.
So it's
but
overall is B plus, B plus, B plus.
yeah, overall is B plus because it got
So-
that S for the 1v1s and that C plus for the open world equal out
Yeah.
each other. I think that's a good spot for it.
Next up on the list is Stamden. Stamden for open world has an S, and for 1v1 it has a B minus. Now, Stamden 1v1 obviously is basically a little bit more buffed up Sork. It has a lot of great survivability and burst, but the thing with Stamden is like, if you take in consideration if you were to use something like pretty cheesy or carried, okay, it'll do pretty decent in a duel. But again, it's not as great as some of the other classes above it in a 1-on-1. And then open world, it just goes completely dummy
It goes
when
stupid.
bursting in a group. It is
What's the overall, by the way?
the overall A
Mm-hmm.
minus. We're at A. We're now going into the A section, so we're at A minus for Stamden. It's kind of like a little bit less OP Stamcrow. So
Open world wise,
open world wise.
I'm not dueling. It's nothing crazy in duels.
Yeah.
Mainly just because, you know, beetles miss a lot. I mean, it can't really apply as much pressure as some other Stam classes. You really gotta hope on those beetles to hit. Now, Stamden's really good open world because you could time that beetles and your DB to hit real big groups.
And
just play.
Zerglings really line up most of the time pretty
Yeah,
easily to
pretty much.
land that burst. So
And you just really need it to hit hard. And if you have Balorgs, it's your beetles hit after, it's GG.
true.
Is that?
All right, the next one.
Next on the list we got Magden. Magden is A for open world, A for 1v1, and A overall. Now, the open world aspect. Magden last patch wasn't bad open world. It wasn't bad by any
Yep.
means. It wasn't anything amazing, right? I mean,
But it
you could
wasn't
definitely
terrible.
exploit it pretty well. But it's still really nice right now. Beetles is hitting pretty decent as well at the moment. It's also good for support, get some good heals. I mean, all around it's pretty decent. In the patch where like there's not a lot of heals, it does pretty well open world for itself. 1v1 wise right now, I mean, if you haven't fought a Magden using Malakath and Infernal Guardian and Bear, then I mean, or even the Hand and Bear, then I mean, hey, like I don't think you
Yeah, it
understand,
hits really
bro.
hard
Like,
with the current meta and
like
aids and carries that's
it
going
hits
on.
stupid.
It hits. It's very, very, very hard.
It's hitting hard. But again, one of the facts that it almost needs one of those carries in order for it to be like
Makes
performing
it not
at something like that, is why it's in the spot that it's
yeah,
at.
yeah.
It's A. There's some other A's on this list, and that's why it's like the last A here. So just want to
All
point
right.
that out.
So the next thing up on the list is Magdk, which has a B minus open world and an A plus 1v1. Now Magdk 1v1 has never been anything bad or anything like that for a long time. It's been pretty good in a one-on-one scenario. Open world wise though, it's not the greatest. It's not as bad as the ones below it, open world here and there. Give or take, some of them obviously got their rankings the way they got it, but it's still not the greatest because the heals that you're gonna have to spam, they cost a lot and they don't heal as much open world, and then on top of that your burst isn't always the greatest, so that's why it's ranked that way in open world. But on a one-on-one scenario, especially if you use again this patch's current meta and aids, it could pretty much obliterate most people.
It goes very stupid in duels.
Yep.
Very great. Y'all saw the tournament. You saw who won. You saw what class it was. Magdk. So
Saw the build.
Yeah, the build went stupid as well. Like, this is how it be. Pretty much. What's next? Nightblade. Now, a lot of people might not agree with this, but I like it. Open world A, 1v1
People might
A,
rank it higher
A.
for whatever reason.
Yeah, people
but
could rank it a little bit higher. Some people think that it's better open world than A. Some people might even put it S. I know people that would say that it's completely OP, it should be S, but I disagree. I think A is a good spot for it. For both. Just all around, just a A class, solid class. What is it? Is that top 5 on our list? I think that's top 5. Yeah, like a top 5 class. Makes sense to me. I mean, so really the reason it's A is, I mean, it could be A plus, right? But I don't think it should be higher than A, mainly because everything's single target, right? I mean, you got incap, you could burst people down real quick, but again, compared to like a, what's it called, a Stamden where you could literally burst multiple people down at once,
it makes it a little bit harder.
yeah, it makes it a little
You
bit harder.
hit hard, but you're single target.
You hit hard, but you gotta work harder to get your kills. So
your natural
even though you're hitting hard, you're doing decent. But like, I mean, it could be at A minus. I could even argue it's at A minus. But I mean, freaking, it has cloak. Either whether you decide to use it or don't use it, it's still there. Like, it's a class option. Like, even if you're using dark cloak or even real cloak, I mean, it still goes stupid. So my opinion, that's where it belongs for open world. 1v1 wise, it's always, in my opinion, been pretty strong. I'm not gonna lie, it's always been a pretty strong class. Right now, it even could CC with surprise attacks. You could even get more damage by taking out your fear. That's both ways, but it's even more effective in one. Well, you put so many different things. So there's also that. I mean, it's always just hit hard. It's always been one of those top classes. Very hard to hit. People be dodging 24/7.
I would say the classes from Stamplar all the way up they've been pretty consistent, being like pretty up there for the best classes for the past few patches. I know one of the classes people might argue it, but I ain't gonna lie, you're just trying to be biased. Because the next class that's up on the list, and this is my own main, and I'm not even being biased. I am aware of my class's potential. So quit being a fucking little pansy bitch and admit your shit. Magblade, A plus, A fucking plus. I know, OP, bitch. All right, let me see. A plus open world and A plus 1v1. It's obvious. The toolkit for group play and 1vx, you have your Purify, you have a Breath of Life. That heal, even though heals were nerfed this patch with the right builds and the right setups on, that heal could still potentially full heal you or get you just a nice decent heal. If you use Living Dark, that's an additional heal over time where you don't have to be spamming Breath of Lives. Also, jabs on a Magplar may not hurt as much, but Purifying Light does. So, you know, those most of the time crit for like 10 to 11k on decent builds. So overall, oh, and plus the Bat Swarm open world, dummy. So the fact that your toolkit doesn't only help you and your group, but just everything it has is just disgusting. Heals, damage for group play, 1vx and open world. And 1v1, same thing. You have the potential to cleanse a lot of things that people put on you, and you have the potential to, you know, do a lot of damage to people as well. So that's why it's A+ across the board. Overall, 1v1 and open world.
Agreed. No cap. You would know better. I meant better. You would know best, huh?
Shut up.
Okay.
What's next, stupid? What's next? What's next?
70k is next up on the list. As you could tell, 70k is a little bit higher than Magblade, which is interesting to some people. We got 70k at S tier for open world. I mean, if you never played a 70k, then I don't know what to tell you, bro.
I'd recommend to play it. It's fun.
Because it's fun
really
open
fun.
world. Super tanky open world. Super easy burst to do with just your leap combo. I mean, it's pretty
much block,
it's
Noxious
nice.
Breath,
It's nice.
B-swing,
Yeah,
leap. You kill a bunch of people.
Dirty. It's great open world. Open world, terrific. You can't ask for a better class. I mean, hey,
you can ask for a few. Yeah, you can ask for a few. Just a little.
What's it called? A+ 1v1s. Some people might be like, I don't know. I don't know if it's A+. Well, you're on crack. I don't know what you're smoking. Especially if it's a dot build, it's going dummy this patch, especially with freaking healing reductions. Yep. Everyone got healing reductions. You're going to Stamina K, you still got good heals. I mean, you got major mending and all this other stuff. You're fine. I mean, what's it called? We ranked it above Magplar too because it goes toe to toe with Katana, who plays only Magplar. Damn.
That's
like,
facts.
I don't know. It's one of the classes that gives Magplar some trouble as well in 1v1s. He has almost every class trouble. We were literally just talking about this before. Basically, like, class that's tanky with dots, with hots.
And on top of that, it's one of those classes that if you
you overextend or something.
If you
like that
overextend or you like really try focusing on them just because they're holding block or whatever, because this is what most MDKs do, they're just gonna leap you and execute. So it just
pretty much, it's gonna be that uppercut heavy leap that and that's how that goes. That literally blicks everything.
The next one is Sork. And again, this shouldn't even be a big surprise just because it's been up here for a while.
But it got
Sork open world is S, and 1v1 it's an A. Now 1v1 scenario, I mean, if we're looking at the most A's Sork builds, you look at the people that use it.
That could go to S with the most A's ones.
Sometimes I would say sure it could potentially, but again, Sork it's just A 1v1. It has great damage, burst, survivability, sustain, open world. It has everything in the toolkit. In comparison to all the other classes, it has quite literally everything in a nutshell. It has the mobility, sustain, damage, heals, tankiness. Group play, it's great because you could also even drop negates on your back bar and things like that. You could do so many things.
Atro.
Atro too. You could do so many things with a Sork that it just goes dummy. So let me see one last time. S open world, A in a 1v1, so that makes its overall A+.
Makes sense to me. I would say. And number one, if you haven't guessed it already before you even watch this video, is Stamplar. OP as all hell. S in open world, S in 1v1s, S overall. I mean, I don't know if I really have to explain this, but I will.
It has
Open world
everything.
wise, the heals are stupid, tankiness is stupid.
Yup.
The damage, especially with Atro, is stupid. With
Yup.
Blast Bones is stupid. I mean, literally, if you just have a Blast Bones going while you're ulting, you're killing like 4 or 5 people off of it, real easy, without even having to try. And if you have Battle Orgs, it's GG.
A
Or if you
spin to win.
you can be spin
A
to
spin
win.
to
Oh
win.
my
You can
god.
X so easy. You know how easy this class is? I literally have a clip somewhere on my channel if you go look for it. I'm singing while 1BXing on a Stamplar.
Oh yeah.
I am singing in the middle of it like nothing's happening. That is how easy the class
They don't
is.
get affected, bro. like this patch, man.
The healing nerf that happened for this patch, like Stampcrows basically went from having the most ridiculous heals last patch to just having normal heals.
Pretty much.
So, and everybody else's heals is just trash. So that's why, you know, in that section, they're pretty good. But yeah, overall, that's the tier list.
1v1. Hold on.
You gotta talk about 1v1s.
Bro, some people don't agree because freaking some people be like, oh, the class isn't that good.
Okay, how about this? Name a class that.
You know what's crazy? You're spammable in a patch where everyone's healing got nerfed. Applies major defi.